23 years later, Chicken Run is getting a sequel, and there's a good reason Chicken Run Dawn of the Nugget wasn't released much earlier. The saga of Ginger, Rocky, and the rest of the gang ended when viewers saw them escape from Tweety's farm back in 2000. Overall, it was a satisfactory conclusion, but there has always been potential for more given the popularity of the Aardman movie and the unclear promise of freedom for the title poultry. But it took more than 20 years for Chicken Run Dawn of the Nugget to bring this about. But will the adventure be just as memorable as the first? Here's the ending of Chicken Run 2 explained in full. Warning spoilers ahead. Ginger, Rocky, and the group live on a remote island at the start of Chicken Run 2, far from Tweety's nightmare. Ginger and Rocky eventually conceive a kid named Molly, seemingly taking up where the first film left off. As Molly gets older, she starts to get restless and yearns for a fresh experience. Molly discovers a van with a cheerful chicken painting on the mainland while exploring. The vehicle is promoting a brand new business that says its hens are the happiest around. Motivated by the thought of something more, Molly is determined to reach that place. Ginger, fearing that the island will suffer the same fate as they did back on the farm, recognizes the identical vans and attempts to send the island into hiding. When Molly vanishes one morning, the group determines that concealment is no longer necessary. As Molly makes her way to the mainland, she encounters Frizzle, a young chicken who is likewise searching for the aforementioned new paradise. They locate one of the chicken-filled vehicles together, and Ginger and the others are determined to bring the hens back. Molly and Frizzle are whisked away behind ironclad gates and an incredibly sophisticated security system, and Ginger and Rocky just about miss them. Molly and Frizzle discover an indoor version of paradise when they enter the new factory. The couple feels like they've hit the lottery as soon as they see the slides, games, and endless supply of chicken feed. But the fishers appear quickly enough, as Molly manages to avoid being marked with a neck brace. She gradually discovers that the braces are hypnotizing the chickens and reducing their feelings to nothing more than sickly sweet happiness. In the meantime, Rocky, Ginger, and the group come up with a scheme to break into the factory. They enter after a few altercations with robotic ducks and a few overly dramatic security guards. In an attempt to locate Molly more quickly, the group divides up, and Ginger eventually runs into the vacuous Dr. Fry, Nick Mohammed, and his visiting friend Reginald Smith, Peter Serafinowicz. It isn't until then that she discovers the true mastermind of the operation, Mrs. Tweety, her longtime adversary, Miranda Richardson. Ginger hears all of the three of them talking about how to make the chickens as happy as possible so that their meat will be delicate and exported as delectable chicken bits for the general public to enjoy. Molly attempts to wake up the knave hens as she sees them being led up the stairway to heaven. When she encounters Ginger while attempting to flee, the race to defeat Tweety begins. In the climax of Chicken Run 2, Ginger, Rocky, Molly, and the group come together to put an end to Tweety's large-scale production of chicken bites. Ginger and Molly flee while Babs, Wunty, and Mac divert the attention of the guards, but not before Mrs. Tweety discovers who is attempting to stop them. When Ginger is placed in a neck brace, the two are able to slow down and eventually reconnect with Babs and the others. After the group is cast into a vat of unpopped popcorn, Rocky, who had been absent, eventually shows up. The gang escapes and goes back on the run after figuring out how to pop the kernels on their own. The group's straightforward plan is to remove the mesmerizing neck restraints, herd the chickens outside into a vehicle, and then drive back to the island. Every member of the group plays a distinct part in carrying out the plan, which is obviously fraught with difficulties. While most of the hens are making their way through the factory processor to climb the escalator, Ginger spars with Mrs. Tweety in a manner reminiscent of their last meeting in the first film, with Tweety just losing out on victory against Ginger once more. The remainder of the group breaks away to escape after she becomes trapped in her own bite device. Most of the hens are set free, including Frizzle, who has no idea what happened to her at all, because Fowler was waiting outside. Molly discovers she's got it pretty good just where she is as the hens return to the island, their true nirvana. At the same time, Ginger understands that Molly possesses exactly the same fierce nature as Ginger. Therefore, she doesn't need to micromanage Molly as much.